Hey guys, your boy Shohei will be back with you with another episode, brand new episode of Jack of All Plays. This episode 5 of Jack of All Plays podcast. Appreciate the support and all that I've been getting posting these every Sunday. So let's get right into it, guys. You guys know the stick by now, Jack of All Plays podcast, where I talk about football, basketball, and baseball news of the week that I like, that I want to talk about that happened throughout the week. Starting in NFL, quarterback. Miami Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa, pretty sure I butchered his name, I'm sorry. But Miami Dolphins quarterback Tua is out with a concussion. The quarterback was stretchered off the field with they were reported with neck and head injuries during the second quarter of this week's Thursday game between the Miami Dolphins and the Cincinnati Bengals. As every Thursday, the new week is kicked off. We did have a Thursday night game, like I said, between Miami Dolphins and Cincinnati Bengals. The outcome of the game was the Bengals did go on to win, but that's really not what I wanted to talk about. Obviously, we here talk about that injury. If you followed the NFL, followed any type of sports news, you've heard about this Tua injury. Coming into this game, the Miami Dolphins was under investigation from the NFL about how they handled Tua's injury, what they called a lower back injury. I call bullshit, but I'll give you my thoughts in a second after I go through the facts. But coming again, like I said, the Miami Dolphins was under investigation from the NFL about how they cleared Tua to play the rest of the game that happened on that past Sunday when they was playing the Buffalo Bills. That's right. The Miami Dolphins had a game on Sunday against the Buffalo Bills where Tua sustained this injury. Again, they called it a lower back injury. It looked like to me and everyone it was a clear concussion because as soon as he got hit in that game, I think it was in the second quarter between them and the Buffalo Bills, a Buffalo Bills defender, I believe, pushed him down. He landed like on the back of his head like it was a whiplash thing. And as soon as he got up and kind of like he was walking it off, he immediately stumbled like this to one knee. Me, my girlfriend, my brother was watching and was like, yo, it looked like that shit was a concussion. Like, okay, he's clearly not in a good good space right now. Get him off the field and, sit him out for the rest of the game. That's what a lot of people thought. But then he came back out. He got cleared by the Miami Dolphins staff, doctors, medical team, whatever, to go back into that game and end up finishing the game. And that's when the NFL decided to launch this investigation because the NFL supposedly, and I'm putting supposedly in big quotes here, that they supposedly preach this about player safety and everything, and they don't want, they want to take care of their players because, CTE, concussions, head injuries is a big thing in the NFL, obviously. Very physical sport. So they try their best to care, really preach about and really show that they care for their players. So that's why this investigation was launched, because a lot of people, including myself, did not understand why did he come back out and finish that game. It's week 3. It's not that big of a deal. You should not want to win that bad where you could possibly cost a career or life of one of your players just to win a simple NFL game. I don't care how bad you want it. It doesn't make any sense. So yeah, and now going fast forward to this Thursday, because they had to turn on and play a Thursday game like 2-3 days later against Cincinnati Bengals, he gets slammed on his head. I forgot what quarter it was in. He gets slammed on his head in by Cincinnati Bengals defender. And immediately when you saw it, because they kept showing it from every different angle, I don't know why they kept showing this the way he landed on his head. But after that, you could clearly see that Tua was not well, and they had to like I said, they had to stretcher him off the field. And everyone really forgot about the game and was just talking and tweeting and posting on social media. Yo, how is Tua? Oh my goodness, I hope this isn't life-threatening. It looked bad. And if you're saying that if this was really like a concussion that he was dealing with already, because 2-3 days is not enough to where a concussion just goes away and then get back out there and go through another physical game like you're obviously going to have in the NFL. It really was throwing a lot of people in headspace like, yo, the Miami Dolphins deserve to be sued. The Miami Dolphins deserve to lose draft picks and everything. Like, why would you risk this man's career or risk his life and have him out there? Then, of course, the finger of blame went to the NFL, which definitely they deserve blame, because if you preach in NFL, if NFL's preaching player safety, then why the hell would you even let the Miami Dolphins play him if they're under investigation on how you believe they handled or wrongly handled the concussion protocol that they have set in place for some time in the NFL? It didn't make any sense. I didn't really expect him to play that game, and I heard when he was cleared to play, it was ridiculous. You had so many doctors and professionals come out and saying the NFL is ridiculous for that. Like, why would you allow him to play? That's the main thing about this whole rant I'm going on. There was no reason. It was unnecessary for him to be out there playing. I don't care if he was cleared or not. It's only 2-3 days. And the way he was going like this and stumbling in that to even get back on his feet after what happened in the Sunday game 2-3 days prior in the Buffalo Bills game, why would you even take that chance? The Miami Dolphins is wrong for that, and absolutely NFL is wrong with that. It looks so hypocritical. NFL preaches that they care about this and that and the player, and then they just do the most backward shit. It doesn't make any sense. He shouldn't have been playing. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a professional, obviously, but I just don't believe if I'm a head coach or I'm a GM or owner of that team, dude, I'm like, listen, this is too quick of a turnaround for us going from Sunday to Thursday for another game. It just don't make sense. We're not playing you. Sit your ass down. And because NFL player, players are got too much pride. If you tell a player, do you think you're good enough to go? Players are gonna say yeah. Players are gonna say yeah, man. They're not gonna worry about their health that bad. They're gonna want to go out there and play. Keep their starting spot. All that stuff comes into effect for players. Or that thought process for players. So if you ask a player, of course Tua's not gonna say, oh, I can't go. No. He's going to say, nah, guys, I'm going to go out there, put my shield on and everything, and I'm going to go out there and battle with you guys. That's just athletes, man. They're not going to – athletes is not going to sit here and tell you that they don't want to play the game. If they're told by their doctors, whatever, that they can play, they're going to play. I just think even if he was cleared, in my opinion, they should have just waited. It's too quick of a turnaround after what happened on Sunday. Now, the NFL Player Association, I do have this written down, did end up in their investigation. I don't know if it's over or whatever, but the Players Association did fire an independent doctor who was the one that checked and cleared Tua to go back in the game on Sunday against Buffalo. He got fired. So I don't know if he's maybe the scapegoat of all this or whatever, because again, like I said, he was the one that checked out Tua and cleared him. But the NFL did say they found some, with their words, was several mistakes that he made. Again, that's several. They didn't say one mistake. They said several mistakes. So maybe I'm looking at this wrong saying scapegoat. Maybe he really deserved to get fired for that. I still put the fault on Stu as a Miami Dolphins organization as a whole and the NFL, dude. I just think it's utterly ridiculous that you can sit there and preach this player safety shit and, you go out on the shield for these players and you go and let them do that. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I do think NFL should have enough power. The NFL should have enough power. Roger Goodell and them dudes to say, Miami, we're banning y'all from playing Tua for this week. It's too quick of a turnaround. And then when you look at these Thursday games, like I'm a person that loves football on every given day. That's great to have games on Thursday, but I did see a lot of people say the NFL need to come up with this where you should not have a Thursday game after having a Sunday or Monday game or whatever. You should not have that. It's too quick of a turnaround after players already a little bruised up and everything, and you're still feeling the effects of their game on Sunday. The way that it should work. Sorry, I'm rambling. The way it should work. I saw ideas where people were saying, you can't have a Thursday game unless you're coming off a bye. You know what I mean? If you had a bye on Sunday, let's say the Eagles had a bye today and they didn't play, but they would play this Thursday. That makes more sense than trying to make a team that already played on Sunday and turn right back around and play on Thursday. It's too quick of a turnaround, and it's too much on players' bodies as is. Then you they already added an extra game to the season and everything. So I actually like that idea. NFL needs to look into doing that. Just don't have teams that have played on Sunday turn around and have to play on Thursday. Just do it after bye weeks. There's no excuse why they can't do it that way. The good news in all this is Tua is okay. He did say appreciates all. Because everyone from NFL players, NBA players, reporters, everybody was literally throwing their hope he's okay vibes to Tua. Because a lot of people really think it was life-threatening. Like when we got landed in that game in Cincinnati on Thursday, dude, it just looked bad. His fingers were like this. He just, I don't know if they was trying to tell him to give him a thumbs up, and he was like this. He just could not. It's like he couldn't move. It's like if any type of movement would have been bad. And like I said, he had to get a stretcher to get him off the field. Like everything stopped. And I was really frustrated about that, dude. That shit is crazy. It is not that deep that you want to win a game that bad. Or and like I said, with NFL, preaching player safety, and then you don't take care of your players. Just tell them, yo, he can't play. It's too quick of a turnaround. Sunday to Thursday, and he's stumbling and what? No, absolutely not. Just sit your ass out, come back next week, and go from there. But, yeah, I don't know. It was, like I said, in all good news, he did, like I said, say he is okay. So that is good. It wasn't life-threatening. and he's expected to come back this season. I don't think he's out for the year, but I think he definitely should be out for a couple weeks. I honestly wouldn't put him out there for at least another 2-3 weeks. I don't know when their bye week is, but maybe wait that long. I have no idea. It's not that deep though to have him out there and possibly risking his life. It's really scary. Moving on, you guys. Jameis Winston is out against the Vikings. The Saints quarterback has been ruled out for today's game against the Minnesota Vikings. I didn't write much on this. Jameis Winston, I don't hate the guy or anything, but he is a turnover machine. And the Saints, to me, I think was going to lose this game anyway. I think they're on the road against Minnesota. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it kind of matters for some people, but I think Minnesota's a better team on paper anyway. I had the Minnesota Vikings beating the Saints, and with Jameis Winston out, I definitely have that. I think the Saints quarterback, they're going to go with Tyson Hill. Basically, the running quarterback they got, everyone thought was going to be the franchise quarterback after Drew Brees retired. And honestly, that wasn't going to happen because Tyson Hill is not a good quarterback by any means. He's usually just used as a gadget type player where they just have him in there, in there doing like run pass options and basically running the ball and stuff like that. So I believe he is going to be their starting quarterback. If he's not, then it doesn't matter. The Saints, I don't think they're as good as everyone really makes them out to be. I'm not saying they're horrible, but I think they're all right. Yeah, I'm not really. I think also Michael Thomas, their star wide receiver, is also out with injury. So again, I have the Vikings win this game. I hope Jameis Winston comes back 100%. Obviously, I don't like when anyone's hurt. But like I said, he has been ruled out for today's game against the Minnesota Vikings. Also, another player that is out before I move on to baseball news of the week, Myles Garrett. He was ruled out versus the Falcons. The Browns' star defensive end is sitting out after getting injuries sustained in a car crash that happened Monday. Injuries was reported. They're not it's not life threatening. So that is good. The Browns defensive end star player Myles Garrett. I like Myles Garrett. It was sad that he did get in a car accident. But again, the reports did say it was not life threatening, and he is supposed to be out today, which makes perfect sense. Just don't play him. Just let him sit out and heal up. Versus the Falcons today. Falcons and Browns should be a good game. It's such a toss-up, dude. It's so weird. Oh my goodness, I don't know who I'm picking in that game. But yeah, Myles Garrett is out for that game. Moving on, you guys, to baseball news. Actually, I'm sorry. Let me actually do that too. I forgot to give you guys, because I've been forgetting to do this for a while now. Give y'all my NFL picks of the week. I do think I did on episode 1. For some reason, I did not do it today. Well, actually, right now the Vikings are up 7-0 on the Saints. I forgot they're playing in London today, so that's why the game started at 9:30, and the Vikings are already up 7-0. So there's a quick update. The Bears and Giants. I'm gonna pick the Giants at home in that one. The Buffalo Bills at the Ravens, which I believe is the game of the week. It's crazy. It's only a 1:00 game. I got the Ravens winning that game, though. I think the Bills a good amount of injuries on that defensive side. I think the Ravens offense should definitely do enough. But the Bills offense could definitely score in that Ravens secondary. So I expect it kind of be some type of shootout, but I got the Ravens winning a close one in that one. Browns and Falcons. I just said this. I don't know who I'm going to go with this. I'm going to pick the Falcons, though, at the crib and win this one. Oh, that's going to be so crazy. That can really affect a lot of people's, parlays and stuff like that. That is such a toss-up. Because I'm not saying, like, the Falcons, I think they're better than what their records say they are. 1-2, I don't think the Falcons are, like, a contender, but I definitely think they're better than that 1-2 record shows, dude. They have been playing and competing in their game. So, I don't know. I'm going to pick the Falcons in that one. Chargers versus on the road against the Texans. Chargers, one of the most disappointing teams in the league so far. I'm going to give them the win over the Texans because it's the freaking Texans. God, man. The Chargers would do something and lay an egg, do some shit where they'll lay an egg against the Texans, but I'm going to pick the Chargers in that one. Washington Commanders versus the Cowboys. The Washington Commanders coming off a shellacking, I should say, by my Philadelphia Eagles. Carson Wentz had a horrible day. Was on his back majority of it, just getting sacked 9 times. I'm going to pick the Cowboys because I think the Cowboys defense is legit. I do think they'll give Carson Wentz some problems to the point where Carson will make a mistake here and there. Yeah, I fucking can't believe it. Cowboys will be 3-1 if this happens. Disgusting. I blame the Bengals. The Jets versus the Steelers, another weird game because the Steelers offense is putrid, horrible, just not fun to watch. They can't run the ball. They can't really get nothing going. And the Jets is the Jets. I think they're franchise quarterback Zach Wilson is supposed to come back today. I'm gonna pick the Steelers. Oh god, I don't know. This is another weird one because the Steelers just they can't score. But the Jets do a lot of things that shoot themselves in the foot. So I'm gonna go with the Jets. I'm gonna go with the Steelers winning that game. Oh boy. The Seahawks versus the Lions. I'm gonna go with the Lions. The Lions are 1-2, but they're one of right now the fun team to watch. Right now they put up points. They play hard. And again, I think they're just like the Falcons. I don't think their record really shows exactly how good this team could be. Not like contender-wise, but they've been playing well and competing. So I think they're going to beat the Seahawks, and they actually handle it. I think they're going to blow the Seahawks out, actually. And the Lions should go to 2-2. Titans at the Colts, another weird one. There are a lot of weird matchups, only because of how these teams have played so far. I think the Titans are not that good at all, and I thought coming into the season that the Colts was going to run all over the Titans. But the way the Colts has played, you don't know what Matt Ryan and them dudes are going to do. So I'm going to go with the Colts because they're at the crib. They should be feeling good and, really want to build some momentum after beating the Chiefs and giving the Chiefs their first loss last week and really stopping Patrick Mahomes from doing his usual Patrick Mahomes thing in that offense with Travis Kelce and them dudes. So the Colts should be building on the momentum, and they should beat the Titans handily in week 4? Week 4. Arizona Cardinals on the road against the Panthers. Oh, God, these teams. It's very weird. Cardinals, I'm going to go with Kyler Murray and them dudes. I don't trust Baker Mayfield at all. The Panthers defense is good. But I just think the Cardinals, they should do enough to win this game. Oh, my goodness. Again, the reason why I'm saying it because these are so tall. These are a bunch of toss-ups. Like, because some of these teams have not been playing as well as they should be playing. I did not think I would be coming here struggling to say the Cardinals going to beat the Panthers. Like I said, the Panthers aren't weak or trash or anything like that, but their offense with Baker Mayfield is not doing anything. So I would think on paper the Arizona Cardinals should be able to, take care of business and try to get their season back on track. So I'm going to go with the Cardinals with that one. The Denver Broncos versus the 2-1 Denver Broncos versus the 0-3 Las Vegas Raiders. Again, the Raiders are by far the most disappointing team. A lot of people looked at them as a sleeper Super Bowl pick, at least a team to watch out in the AFC. They're just looking for their first win now. Fast forward till now. They're just looking for their first win. I'm going to go with the Raiders. I don't think the freaking Broncos is as good as their record saying they are. They're 2-1. Russell Wilson has been below average so far since getting that contract with them. And their offense has not been anything. Their defense has been great. But I just think the Raiders, they're due for a win. The Raiders win that one. Patriots at Packers, not much to talk about here. The Packers should win this game. The Sunday night football game is the Kansas City Chiefs versus Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm going to go with the Chiefs because the Buccaneers offense has been to watch with Tom Brady and them. So they have a lot of injuries as well. So I'm going to go with the Kansas City Chiefs. I think Kansas City is trying to look for some payback after losing to the Colts last week. And Monday Night Football game, you have the Los Angeles Rams versus the 49ers, and I'm going to go with the Los Angeles Rams because the Rams, again, they're trying to prove to everybody that they're still the Los Angeles Rams, and I think the 49ers are good. I don't think the 49ers are not good, but man, that's a divisional game. That's tough. That could be a toss-up too, but I'm going to pick the Rams. I think the Rams will win that one, go to 3-1. So that's my NFL picks of the week, you guys. Let's move on now to Major League Baseball news of the week. Seattle Mariners clinch a playoff spot for the first time in 21 years. Shout out to the Seattle Mariners. Go Mariners, man. It was really dope. The Mariners made that happen after a walk-off home run and a 2-1 win over the Oakland Athletics. It was such a great moment to see you. I watched it live. I was at my mom's house chilling with my girlfriend, my mom, my dad. It was coming in and out talking and stuff, chilling. And we were about to leave, and I literally was looking. I was watching on my phone. It was the bottom of the ninth. I think it was a full count. Cal Riley, I believe his name is, the catcher for the Seattle Mariners. It was a full count 3-2, and everyone was on their feet because everyone was thinking, okay, it's going to happen, or we're going to extra innings or whatever. And Kyle hits a beautiful swing where he hits the ball, and the crowd just erupted. And I rewinded like maybe 10, 15 times, and I turned it up to the loudest volume I can on my phone, and I just watched the ball go over, and it was so dope to see. Like it was really, really dope to see. I love seeing that type of stuff. I support the Seattle Mariners. It was really dope to see that type of drought end where fans have been hoping for years that they get a chance to be in the playoffs playing in October. And the last time the Mariners, to go over that, the last time the Mariners was in the playoffs was 2001, 21 years ago, where they won 116 games, but lost to the Yankees in the American League Championship Series. which I believe after that is a trip to the World Series. So yeah, it was that was their last time they got in. The Seattle Mariners were the only team in the 4 major professional sports, I believe NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball, and NHL sports in North America that had a playoff drought of 20 years. They were the only team in the 4 major sports in North America that had a drought for 20 years. So it's just a good feel-good story, man. And I'm just saying, I know it may come off as biased because I support these dudes and I root for the Seattle Mariners. Being a fan of them, I really want to say they could be a team. Not maybe to be in this World Series. I still think the Houston Astros and the Yankees, them, they still have that over the Mariners. But the Mariners do have a great pitching rotation, and they have guys that can hit. I'm just saying, in clutch, and they've won games. I watched them all year. They've won games coming down to the wire. Like I said, those walk-off homers are not surprising at all when you watch Seattle this year. They have been a team that can come in the clutch. Like I said, they got great pitching rotation where everything really starts to slow down in the playoff series and in baseball. So Seattle Mariners will not be an easy out, whoever they have to run into. I believe right now they hold the second wild card spot, and they're still trying to chase that first spot over the Toronto Blue Jays because right now I think they will play the Toronto Blue Jays in the wild card. But obviously with Toronto being in front of Seattle, Toronto will get a chance to host the playoff game. And I would hope it would go through Seattle first because that atmosphere in the first game of the series will be electric. I know fans are very excited. I know I'm excited. The Tampa Bay Rays is also another team that clinched the playoff spot. Shout out to my brother Malik. That's his team. The Tampa Bay Rays have clinched their 4th straight playoff berth after Friday's win over the Houston Astros. The Rays are still trying to move up in the wild card, just like I said for Seattle Mariners, where the Blue Jays, like I said, are up. They're up on. I think they're up. The Blue Jays are up half a game on Seattle, and the Tampa Bay Rays, I think like 3 games behind Toronto for that first spot. But regardless, wherever the Rays end up at, they are going to be a tough out for anyone. The Rays, to me, could be that sleeper team to make it to the World Series out of the American League. I'm dead serious. The Rays are that good. And listen to my brother Malik talk about it, and not even just talk about it. Actually, I'm talking about like watching them as well. The Tampa Bay Rays is a very good team. Them being the wild card does not do diligence. I'm saying for how good that team is, honestly, on paper. So yeah, Tampa Bay again. They clinched a playoff spot. I believe again when I read you guys the standings, like I usually do. Actually, I'm pulling up my phone already. I'll read you guys standing once I'm near the end of this. And because I think right now the American League is wrapped up. I think there's no other teams that can get in. It's just now about the placement of where every team is playing at this point. Moving on, you got Shohei Ohtani signs a $30 million extension. The Los Angeles Angels signed Shohei Ohtani to a 1-year contract of $30 million, which makes him the largest ever player. The largest ever salary for an aberration player. Hope I said that word right. Ohtani was scheduled to become a free agent at the end of the season for the two-way superstar. He was scheduled to become a free agent, but the two-way superstar, obviously, how great he is. The Angels did not allow that to happen and made sure they did sign him to that 1-year, $30 million deal. A lot of people looked at this, before I go over his stats and how great he is, a lot of people looked at this and was kind of upset that he signed back. They think he's wasting away his career in Los Angeles because despite all their struggles this year, he was the one, if not one of the most consistent players out there, like clearly the best player on the team. Mike Trout obviously we know how great Mike Trout is. He had injuries, he came back and did his thing. But we're talking about Shohei Ohtani. A lot of people was surprised that he came back. And the way I look at it is it's only a 1-year deal. It's not if he really does, want to go win and do something else. Because again, I'm not saying like the Angels can't build a roster to win. It's but if he really does want to go anywhere else, it is just 1 year. He can, talk about that the year after. But I think the Angels made a smart move here. You can sign him to this 1-year deal, give him a lot of money, and try to talk to him like, listen, we're trying to build something here. We want you to stay. We love you. Please stay, and, we'll work something out. So I think it was smart by the Angels to get this done way before free agency or whatever started, and other teams had a chance maybe to poke some holes in their chance of getting and bringing him back. The 28-year-old phenom had an historic season with an average of 257, 46 home runs, 100 RBIs, and 26 stolen bases. Also went 9-2 with a 3.18 ERA and 156 strikeouts. Again, he's a two-way superstar. He's great. I love watching Shohei Ohtani, man. That man is a beast, and yeah, he's doing it on both sides of the and on the field, man. So again, it could be hitting or it could be on the mound. Shohei Ohtani is great, man. So here is the standings, guys. Before I move on to NBA news of the week and wrap up this week's episode. Over in the American League, the Houston Astros did clinch, I believe, home field. That's over. I don't think they have any chance of losing for the first seed with 103 wins and 55 losses. The New York Yankees, they believe they clinched the American East division. I believe they won the division as well. They got 97 wins and 60 losses in the second seed. For the third seed, I think the Cleveland Cavaliers also clinched their division, clinched their division as well with 89 wins and 69 losses. So those are your three top seeds: Astros, Yankees, and keep saying Indians. Oh my God, the Guardians. I almost forgot what the hell the Cleveland called themselves now. Over in the wild card, like I said, Toronto Blue Jays holds the first wild card spot with 89 wins and 69 losses. The Seattle Mariners, like I said, they clinched theirs. They clinched the wild card spot, and they hold the second with 87 wins and 70 losses. So right now they're a game and a half back of getting that first spot over Toronto Blue Jays. So here's hoping that Seattle does get that. And the final team in the wild card in the American League is the Tampa Bay Rays. They are 86. They have 86 wins and 72 losses. The team that everybody was watching that was trying to come in and sneak their way in is Baltimore. It was 81 wins and 71 losses, but they were officially eliminated from the playoffs. After they lost to the Red Sox, I believe a couple days ago. I believe. The point is they're eliminated. There's no chance for them to get in. But Baltimore should not hang their heads. Their fans should. No one expected Baltimore to even have this many wins, 81 wins, and they're not expecting to even be in a race for a wild card because they were there for a while. They was sneaking up, but in the end, they just couldn't get it done. But again, Baltimore fans should not be hanging their head over that at all. But that's it as far as American League. Over in the National League, really nothing to say. I say this every week. The Los Angeles Dodgers clear number one seed, clearly favorites to win it all. 110 wins, 48 losses. They're still playing great baseball despite not really having to do anything else. Right now, they did shake up from last week. Last week, for the 2 spot, the New York Mets had the 2 spot, but now the Atlanta Braves do. The Atlanta Braves, 99 wins, 59 losses, is actually got them in second place in the playoffs, National League playoffs standings, while the Mets now, because again, the Mets and Braves, for people that know, are in the same division. So whoever wins that division is going to clearly get that top spot versus being in the wild card, watching how the Mets is at. For the third seed right now, you have the St. Louis Cardinals, 92 wins, 66 losses. And like I said, the New York Mets is leading the wild card with 98 wins and 60 losses. So I think that puts them maybe a game and so back of the Atlanta Braves. And over the next wild card team, the second wild card spot goes to the San Diego Padres, 87 wins and 71 losses. And the third team is the Philadelphia Phillies, 85 wins and 73 losses. The Phillies have been literally consistent and really pissing their fans off, Philadelphia Philly fans, and rightfully so. They have been frustrating because they've been up and down so much throughout the season that there is a chance they could miss the playoffs. Because the one team that still has a chance to get in is the Milwaukee Brewers, and they're right now one game back of the Philadelphia Phillies. I believe the Phillies won yesterday, and Milwaukee lost yesterday because they both was tied for that final third spot. So because Milwaukee lost and Phillies won, that's why they hold the third final spot at this time. So the National League is still not wrapped up yet. You still could have some movement here and there, like I said, with the Braves, the Mets. San Diego could possibly move down, and who knows if they don't take care of business. And the Phillies and Milwaukee are both jockeying back and forth for that final wild card spot. It is exciting though, man. I can't wait. I think there's like five, six games left. I just can't wait for the playoffs to start, man. It's been a hell of a season, and it's going to be exciting to see what happens in the end. Moving on, you guys, to NBA news of the week that I want to talk about. Steven Adams signs an extended deal with the Memphis Grizzlies. The Memphis Grizzlies signed a big man to a 2-year, $25.2 million extension, which now makes his current contract a 3-year, $43.1 million extension. Makes his current contract a 3-year, $43.1 million. That's his current contract now because of the 2-year extension. Overall, I like this signing. I've been a fan of Steven Adams. Again, he's not much of a scoring big man, nothing like that, but he can defend, he can rebound, decent, definitely can pass. Not like the greatest passer, but he can make some good passes, definitely here and there. If you watch him play, and I believe he's 29. A veteran dude, been playing, playing for a good amount of time now, and I definitely think he's a good anchor for that Memphis Grizzlies team that won 56 games last year. A lot of people look at them as contenders this year with John Morant, and them dudes. So. I like the idea and that the Grizzlies did this, and so yeah, Steven Adams signed an extended deal. Boston Celtics did sign someone of their own. They signed Blake Griffin, the veteran forward, reached a 1-year deal with the Celtics. I'm not a super fan of Blake Griffin. I'm not, I don't dislike him either. I still think he could be a solid player. Here and there, he has shown that, but he's 33 years old. You can see how much he has left in the juice. But again, the signing made sense because when you look at the Boston Celtics front court, Robert Williams, their starting power forward, he's supposed to be out to start the season. He's not for the whole year, but to start the season, he will be out for some time. I don't know if they reported how long he is, but he's supposed to be out. So I get why going out there and getting a veteran like Blake Griffin to come in and, some minutes here and there at the power forward position. Blake Griffin, but more so with him is just his injuries. Since his injuries when he at a younger in his career, it really, because everyone remember Blake Griffin as being the high flyer, the one that could do these crazy dunks and stuff like that, and being that agile player up and down the floor. He's had these persistent knee injuries that kind of stopped that explosiveness and kind of caught up to him to where now at 33, he could be kind of a liability on defense, not really, really move on the floor as well like he used to. But again, he does add some value. I'm not gonna say, like I said, there's times he can show you to definitely be a solid player out there to have. Before signing with the Boston Celtics, he was playing for the Brooklyn Nets last year. Like I said, he did have injuries. He did struggle to the point where I think Steve Nash actually ended up benching him, and he wasn't no longer the starter for that team. But yeah, I understand it. I'm not gonna say I like it or anything like that. I get it. Again, they need to shore up or at least put a Band-Aid on their front court until Robert Williams comes back. So I get it. The Boston Celtics signed Blake Griffin. And the last thing here, guys, Steve Nash says that the Brooklyn Nets don't need Ben Simmons and does not care if he takes a jump shot at all. I don't know really much to make of this one. I didn't really write about the notes for it. Personally, I don't know why. I don't get why Steve Nash said that. Personally, I would not say, hey, man, we don't need you to shoot. We get it. He's not like the second option or first option. They have Kyrie Irving. They have Kevin Durant, obviously, on that team. So, if anything, he'd be like a third option if he was a scoring option. But, I don't know. For me, with Ben Simmons, I've been told people, I just want to see him take that step in shooting because if you're not a guy out there that's going to be willing to shoot, you're not, and we don't have like a whole lot of options on the floor besides maybe Kyrie and Kevin Durant to obviously get their own buckets. It just comes off as like a liability because you're not, you're not adding. Something popped up on my screen. It's just like you're just out there. And for a dude his size, for 6'11", I think he's 6'11", 240, whatever. I do think Blake Griffin can be a dominant type player on offense if he added that to his game. I'm not saying he's going to lead the NBA in scoring, but if he's a threat out there with his size and his versatility to be able to pass and rebound and everything, the dude could be a great player, especially on offense, man. I don't know why they would tell him not to. Because, yeah, you may not say you don't need him to shoot. We have KD, we have Kyrie, but I would love if he would attempt a jump shot. Be a threat out there. That way teams can't just sit back and give you all the space in the world and just pay attention to Kyrie and KD. I don't agree with it. I know maybe some people got better explanation of why it makes sense. But yeah, I don't know. If I'm Steve Nash, I wouldn't have said that publicly. I would just, even publicly, I don't understand it. Why do you need to tell the press to tell everyone that? I mean, someone probably asked him, do you want him to be more offensive, option out there? And he probably answered it. So maybe that's what happened. But personally for me, I just wouldn't have said that. No, I would have I want you to go out there and be an option to score. You're taller than the majority of people that's guarding you. I want you to be an option to score. We haven't seen that from Ben Simmons. We know he's a great defender. We know he's a great passer. That's the one thing we just haven't seen out of him is his ability, not ability, but his lack thereof of wanting to try to score. There's some guys that you just know that are not good scorers. They give the value in other ways, but we don't know with Ben Simmons. He just doesn't take the shots. He doesn't even take them, and he's beat open a good amount of times. As Philadelphia fans, like, it's just, I don't get it. Which pisses us off. I'm not a Philadelphia Sixers fan, Chicago Bulls all day, but what pisses off is fans watching him, because in the summer you'll see all these videos of him taking jump shots, and you're like, dude, why the hell can't you do that in the game? Doesn't make any sense. But I don't know. Maybe there's other things going on mentally with him. I don't want to get all into that, but yeah, I don't agree with Steve Nash saying that publicly or telling him that. I definitely would want him to be an option out there if I'm the coach. But that's it, you guys. This has been your boy Sean Bellamy, Jack of All Plays, episode 5. I'm going to be out of here, post this up, and get ready for the NFL season to continue. My Eagles 3-0 going up against Jacksonville Jaguars. With Doug Peterson returning to Lincoln Financial Field. Should be a good one. I expect this to be a good game. I hope we win, obviously. But, yeah, I'm out, you guys. Peace.